What's up, KV Squad? Back with another video. I'm trying to keep up this time for 2023, like keep the videos coming out. But today I got another story time for you guys. Story time when my friend left me stranded in Miami. Yes, I know people got plenty of stories, girl trips, friend trips, whatever. But I want to tell you the time that my friend left me stranded in Florida. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Come at a time that you maybe fell out with a friend or a family member or boyfriend or significant other, at a time that y'all went on vacation or out of town. But all right, stay tuned. So first, let me give a backstory of how I even know this person, how we became friends or acquaintances or whatever. I was dating a girl at the time. She graduated high school after me. So she graduated, she went off to a 4-year college. I went to a 2-year college, community college, but when she graduated, she went to a 4-year college. So she was living on the dorm at the campus. So of course I'm out there every weekend, hanging out, meeting different people and whatnot. So as she's going to college out there, and I would come out there and I would start meeting different people, that went to school with her, on campus or whatever. So eventually it became a crew of us. It was like a crew of people we went to high school with that also went to the college. And then it was also people at the college that we met. So it was like 2 groups fusing together, like the high school crew and then the college people, people at the college that we was becoming friends with. So, and then also let me paint the picture of, this was back in 18 years ago, guys. This is back in like early 2000s. This is still when like being lesbian and gay, like it still wasn't really like cool. Like nobody was really out, doing too much. Like, so our little crew we had, we was all gay. We was all kind of like trying to find ourselves, finding out if you gay or not, or just whatever, just finally getting away from your parents. You know how it is. You go to college, you kind of wild out a little bit. But anyway, back to the story. So anyway, it was a girl who was in the crew, started hanging out with our crew, whatever. She was part of the college crew. She was on like the sports teams and stuff like that. But she was kind of like what we call a STEM. Back in the day, we call them a STEM, like a stud and a femme, kind of, fused together. Like, she could wear the, masculine clothes, and she could also wear feminine clothes or dress, wear it, and everybody be like, oh, okay. Like, she's really attractive. She was like, kind of like the popular person in our crew, where everybody, if she's not around, people will be like, oh, where's so-and-so, is so-and-so coming, but within the group, the 2 groups, the high school group and the campus, college crew coming together, everybody had their own personal friendships, like within the group. Like, 2 people over here cool, these 2 people over here, you know what I'm saying? So during that time, I formed my own friendship with this person, and I'll just call her Nancy. We're gonna call her Nancy. The person, the fake friend is Nancy. So I formed my own friendship with Nancy. Like, I think we was kind of maybe a little older than the other people. Like I said, my girl, she was a little younger than me when she graduated. She graduated after me, but anyway, I think we was kind of like the same age, and everybody was just a little bit younger. But anyway, it don't really matter. But we kind of formed our own friendship. We had each other's number, and then as the years went on, we all used to hang out. We used to go to the clubs, and we used to go to this club called the Barcode. Like, if you was in Atlanta around early 2000s and you was lesbian, gay, you remember that club called the Barcode. So we used to go down Friday nights. We used to hang out, the crew, our little crew, whatever. We used to hang out all the time. So we had started forming our own bond. We was cool. We even used to go without everybody. Like, we might link up and be like, hey, you going? Everybody didn't always have to be together to go out. So we would maybe have our own time and say, hey, you going? And like, we might even go without everybody. We had our own crew. We was just cool, like friends. So anyway, as the years went by, the high school crew, they start to kind of break apart. Like, me and the girl I was dating at the time, we broke up. So we wasn't dating it anymore. But I was still coming out to hang out with the college crew. You know what I'm saying? I used to still come out there. I still had friends out there just because I broke up with so-and-so. I didn't break up with my friends, but anyway, so the high school crew kind of started breaking apart. Like, some people didn't even go back to the college. Like, some people started working. They say they not, life happens. You might not go back. You do that first year, second year, then third year, you're like, okay, I'm working 9 to 5, I'm tired, just whatever. But so anyway, the high school crew started not really coming back to the college. Everybody was still friends with each other. They didn't go to the college no more, but I was still going out there to hang out, going to football games, basketball games, whatever, just hanging out, whatever was going on, because I still had communication with people who still went to the campus. So Nancy and I, as the year went by, we hang out, Pride to come around, we'll still hang out. Oh, Pride coming up, what's going on? Or, everybody used to hang out, even the high school crew. But anyway, so eventually Nancy, she graduated. She actually did get her degree and graduated. And I went to her graduation out there. I met her girlfriend at the time. We're going to call her KK, because KK is going to be, important person in the story too. But I met KK, her girlfriend at the time, and her mom came up because they're from Florida. All of them are from Florida. So there's the Florida Connect right there. Nancy is from Florida, but she was going to college in Georgia. So, and then KK also went to the college we went to too. But KK wasn't really in our college crew. She kind of was a little bit, but she came toward the end. Like, we was already kind of fusing together. Then we met KK later. But so Nancy did get her degree. I remember going to her college graduation. Nobody else from the crew came. None of the high school people came or the college crew came. I was the only one. Yeah, but it don't really mean nothing. But anyway, I was the one that came to her college graduation, hung out with KK, the girl she was dating at the time, and her mom was there. So we took pictures and hung out. So after that, she moved back to Florida, Miami. So that's where she was from. So, of course, you graduate, you got your degree, you're going back home. And KK was also from Florida. So I guess, I don't remember if she got her degree or not, but she went back home too. So they all moved back home. But we would still communicate with each other. We were still friends. Like, like I said, when Pride come around in Atlanta Pride's pretty big, in the gay community. So when Pride would come around, she would, from Florida, say, hey, I'm coming up from Pride. Can I stay with y'all, stay with you? Can you pick me up from the airport, whatever? And yeah, I did that. This is like, let's say this is 2004. 2004, nobody's hanging out the campus anymore. We're like living real life now. But she was in Miami. We still keep in touch. Hey, what's up? And Pride would come around in September, Labor Day. And, she would still hit me up like, I'm coming up there. It was times that she got her own hotel too. But this was the time where she said, hey, can I stay, with you, whatever. And yeah, she stayed that year. Her and KK actually came and stayed with us. So I'm just painting a picture of our friendship. So this is our friendship. She was actually cool. We hung out outside of school, outside of the college scene or whatever. So anyway, guys, I'm sitting in my car. It's like 80 degrees today. I'm out here sweating. But anyway, so our friendship was pretty cool. That's what I thought. She, I picked her up from the airport. She hung out, stayed with me actually for Pride weekend. We hung out, went to the Pride events. Nothing. Spent the night with her. Got ready, got our outfits, whatever. And then, okay, let's fast forward to 2005. 2005, guys. So this is the year. Well, this ain't really the year, but anyway. Okay, let's fast forward to 2005. So in 2005, it was another Pride situation. We were still keeping in touch over the years. Or I think she came up for her birthday this year. It wasn't Pride. She hung out during Pride too, but she came up doing her birthday one year in 2005. Like, it's like toward the end. I think her birthday was in December. So, let's say end of 2004 going into 2004 December. She hit me up like, I'm coming up there for my birthday, can I stay with you guys for a few nights, whatever, it's cool, get you gas money, whatever, basic stuff. And I'm like, cool, yeah, of course you can come stay, you the homie, we been knowing each other for a few years now, like maybe 3 or 4 years now, probably 3, I'll say 3. So she came up for her birthday, picked her up from the airport, we hung out, everything cool. I was dating somebody else different at the time, so the girl I was dating, we'll just call her Addie. I don't know. But anyway, me and Addie, we hosted her. Addie had a place, she had a roommate and she had a place. So she stayed, spent the night with us over there. And everything was cool. So at the end of that weekend that she stayed, me and Addie was like, we was talking amongst ourselves first. And we was like, hey, maybe it's time we take a trip to Miami. We hosting, We've been to Florida a few times before, just on our own separate trip, but this was the time where we want to go to Miami. We went to like Orlando and stuff like that, but we never been to Miami. And, you know, Nancy stayed and lived in Miami, and we hosted her, you know, for different events and things like that, her birthday and hanging out. So we got together and said, hey, you know, Nancy, next time, you know, can we come out and, you know, stay with you? You know, just trying to save money. Not, you know, we probably could have got a hotel, but if you know somebody who's staying in Miami, then, you know, you're gonna stay with them, like save that little money, ball out with that. But so we were just like, okay, well, you know, your birthday, you had a good time, whatever, yada yada. Next time when we ready to come to Miami, we gonna come stay with you. You know how friends do. We staying with you. And she's like, oh yeah, of course y'all come stay with us. She had no problem with it. She like, of course, like, yes, like come stay, come whenever y'all decide to come, let me know, call me, whatever. So go, let's fast forward 2005, New Year came, yada, whatever. So I think it was kind of like end of February or maybe going into March, something like that. We decided like, hey, let's go. Like, let's go let's take that, you know, that invitation that was given, or, you know, whatever that was offered, given, whatever you want to say. And let's see if we can, you know, so-and-so Nancy will let us stay with her in Miami for a few days, for the weekend or whatever. And then, you know, we called Nancy. I'm like, hey, we finally figured out a day we want to come down there. We thinking this day, this weekend. She's like, yeah, of course, come. Like, no problem. Like, give me, you know, let me know the exact day that y'all coming, whatever. So we hung up the phone. That was a conversation. And then later on, maybe in the week or a couple of weeks later, the girl I was dating, Addie, was like, oh. So anyway, we had to leave. We went to go got something to eat. But anyway, so she said we could come down there, and then after we just asked her the initial question, can we stay down there for a weekend, me and Addie, the girl I was dating, we had doubled back and said, you know what, why don't we just stay down there, like actually like move down there, like live down there. Because I don't think I was working at the time. I was working at like Fry's Electronics or something, and they had let me go. It was just a little rinky-dink job. I wasn't working there at the time, and then I think she was dancing, so she had saved up some money, so she was like, let's just go down there. Like, we're not doing nothing up here. And then I think her lease was about to be up too with her and her roommate, and her roommate wasn't renewing the lease, anything. So she was like, lease about to be up here. You know, you don't have no ties to your job. And she was dancing, so, you know, that ain't really nothing, you know. So we called Nancy back. We talked amongst ourselves and said, hey, why don't we just move down there and stay for a long time, not just for the weekend, not for 3 day, 4 day, like stay down there months, you know, year, whatever. So I'm like, I'm down with it. Like, why not? I don't have nothing tying me to Atlanta right now at that time anyway. But, you know, I had family there, but you know what I'm saying? We was young then. I was like in my 20s. So she said, let's stay down there and call Nancy back and see, you know, let her know that, you know, we ain't want to just go down there for the weekend and just bombard anybody. We want to just ask and, say, and, you know, let her know. So I called Nancy back and I was like, hey, you know, of course we still coming out there. We still doing this, doing that. And I was like, well, me and Addie was thinking, well, can we just stay with you for a little while? We want to, you know, we were thinking about moving out there. We just want to stay for a little while, see what the scenery like, just whatever, you know. And, you know, and that was her chance to say yes, no, or she could have just said, you know, no, y'all stay for the weekend and then y'all got to go and y'all can't be staying. You know, it would have been cool. It wouldn't have been no hard feelings or nothing, because, I mean, we would have just found like an extended stay or something. Whatever we need to find, I think we would have found it. But, you know, of course, like I said, if you got somebody down there you can stay with, now why not stay with them? And plus, like I said, we already hosted her several times, different events. Or me, myself, I've hosted her even without the girl Addie I was dating at the time. I had hosted her, you know, prior to that anyway. So she had already knew me. She was just meeting Addie, but still, they was cool. They clicked. And so I said, well, we're thinking about staying down there. We're not just gonna come for the weekend. We're gonna stay for a few months, weeks, whatever. And I was like, you know, it's all right if you don't, you know, if you ain't cool with it, it's all right. Like, we still come and stay with you for those few days, and then we'll find our way to where we need to go, extended stay, a little hotel or whatever. And then she's like, oh, no, y'all ain't got to do that. Y'all can come. That's cool. We figure it out. You know, while y'all figure things out, y'all can stay with me, whatever. So we got the heads up. We got the thumbs up, you know. And it was time to packed up. We told everybody, you know, our families, whoever, and they was cool with it. They didn't. I don't remember anybody having no real, you know, like anything against it. Everybody was like, okay, y'all going down there, great, be safe, you know. And so my dumbass didn't even get the girl address. We just sitting here making all these plans to go to Miami. She said yes. I didn't even, like, you know, get her physical address, like, you know, whatever it is, 123 such and such Mockingbird Lane, whatever it was. I never got her physical address. I just knew Miami. So my dumb ass just put, you know, Miami in the GPS. Okay, this is back in 2005, guys. So, you know, we didn't have the iPhones and all that stuff and social media. You had to go on MapQuest on like a desktop computer or, you know, maybe a laptop, but desktop computer, and print out, you know, your directions for GPS back in those days. That's what I did. So I just put Miami in there, and then, you know, I'm just, you know, when we get to Miami, we'll, you know, physically call her and say, okay, we're in Miami, tell us which way to go or whatever. But I realize now that was dumb. I didn't even get her address. She didn't never volunteer it. She just said, yeah, come. And I'm saying, we coming, and here we are in the damn car riding. So, you know, we chose I don't know if we chose like a Saturday or Sunday, probably a Saturday. You know, we got up in the morning early, 7 o'clock, we packed up the car. I mean, we just had a lot of clothes. I mean, of course, we weren't gonna bring no furniture or nothing. We just had like totes, like 2 totes, or, you know, like some garbage bags. You know how it go. We kind of ghettos back in the day. So we had a few bags, but, you know, we didn't have enough of what we had. So we had just like some totes of stuff like that in the car or whatever. So we just had a bunch of clothes. It wasn't nothing. So we riding. We'll just say we got on the road like 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. We riding along, we having a good time. You know, we had cell phones back then, but it was just mainly text and call. Like, it wasn't, you know, like I said, it wasn't no Instagram, none of that. All the social media was on your computer, like MySpace, if you was on Black Planet, stuff like that. You had to actually have a desktop computer. So phones, we had phones, but people weren't really glued to their phone like they were now. So when I text her initially, I just said, hey, we're getting on the road, you know, just the basic, we getting on the road, we on the way. And I think she worked that day too. It might have been a Friday. It was a Friday because it was still like a work week. She had to work early in the morning at that time. So, you know, back then, like I said, people weren't glued to their phones, so I didn't really necessarily expect a response. I was just putting in the, hey, we on the road. You know, you respond if you want to, but I'm just letting you know we're getting on the road. So we on the road riding. You know, of course, they come up to like, it take 8 hours to get down to like Miami from Atlanta area. So let's say we started at 7 a.m. Now it's going into lunchtime, like 11:30, 12. I'm like, okay, dang, so-and-so, she ain't called, checked up on us or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Usually you got somebody come out of town, you try to check up on her, hey, how far are y'all, you know, what county, city you pass, you know, stuff like that. So it's about 11:30, 12 o'clock. I'm like, well, even if she's at work, you know, it's like lunchtime around that time, like she can slip off and say, hey, how y'all doing? Like I said, this wasn't really this was a time when everybody wasn't really glued to their cell phone. So, but still, it's like, you know, you got a friend coming, company, whatever, whoever coming, you know, you should be looking out for them. Like I would. I'd be like, hey, where y'all at? You know, how far y'all came? You know, how many more hours y'all got? So nothing. So we've been on the road for like 5 hours. From 7 a.m. is 12, going on 12, you know, afternoon, 1 p.m. And I still haven't heard nothing from her. She ain't checking up on us. She ain't calling. So I called a few times. And then, you know, we had voicemail back in the day. Went to the voicemail. I probably left the voicemail like, hey, we're in such and such county, Gainesville, or, you know, wherever we're at. And then, it was another mistake I made. Again, my dumb ass I decided not to take the toll road. Because, you know, when you go to Miami, you could take the toll road 95 and, you know, pay all those tolls. Or you can go around a long way, like past Gainesville, 75 or whatever, and keep straight. So I'm like, oh, we gonna pass up all the toll road. We ain't gonna pay all them toll. We just gonna keep straight. And we end up getting lost. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yeah, we wasn't on a toll road. We was on a different highway, like 75 or something, like the other side of 95. Not the toll road, but just the regular highway where you don't have to pay tolls. So, okay, now I'm getting panicked. Like, you know, Nancy ain't called us. She ain't checking up on us. I didn't get her, you know, direct address. You know, I just put Miami in the MapQuest to get directions. So anyway, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting frustrated, nervous. She ain't calling. I'm calling. She ain't answering her phone or anything. So we like literally at a fork in the highway where you kind of got to go north here, south there, and none of the signs are saying Miami or anything. Like, it's just some such and such county, whatever. It's close to Miami, but not Miami. But So I remembered I had KK's number. So you guys remember KK was Nancy's girlfriend at the time, a few years ago when, you know, we was back in the college life. So I had KK's number, and, you know, KK them, they had broke up at this time, but, you know, I still had her number, and I don't know if they were still cool with each other or not, but I mean, I was cool with KK. Like I said, I made my own personal friendships with everybody, so I didn't have to, if I'm not hanging out with Nancy, I can't hang out with KK. Like, it's nothing like that with me. I'm make my own friendships and, you know, make my own bonds, whatever. But anyway, we somewhere, you know, Buck Tussle, Florida somewhere. I don't know where we're at. I didn't get the girl address. Anyway, she not answering the phone. We call him. My girl looking at me like, you know, this your friend, you know, like, this our first time going down there too, so she don't know which way to go. So anyway, good old KK came through. I called KK. I explained to her everything. I'm like, man, you know, Nancy's supposed to be letting us stay with her for a few days. We down here, and I'm lost. Like, I don't know where I'm at. And she jumped right on it. She helped us get through the fucking highway. She told us how to get to her place, and she said we could come stay with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you, KK. To this day, you know, KK, you know who you are. Appreciate you, KK. We still Facebook friends now. We don't like talk, but, you know, we're Facebook friends, you know. But anyway, KK came through. She didn't really know where we were at either on the highway, but she was still at work at the time, so she asked a coworker, like, hey, I got some friends from out of town, you know, can you guide them back, you know, to where we are? And, you know, her coworker helped out, so appreciate that, KK. So, you know, we got directions. We pulled up to KK's place. You know, she stayed in Fort Lauderdale. Nancy stayed in Miami, but KK stays in Fort Lauderdale. So, you know, Fort Lauderdale just maybe like 30 minutes away from Miami. Everybody know. I mean, if you're familiar with Florida area. So we ended up staying in Fort Lauderdale with KK. We put up to her place, and I remember when we got out, we didn't, you know, when we first get out, we didn't grab our stuff, and, you know, we just kind of got out when we was gonna go up, you know, just to speak and say, hey, how you doing and stuff. And I was going to introduce her to, you know, the girl I was going with at the time. But I remember getting out the car, and I remember just breaking down. Like, I started crying. I'm like, why she do me like that, you know? And then the girl I was with at the time, you know, she helped me. She gave me a hug. And then she wiped my tears, and then I straightened up. And then I remember just going up to see, you know, KK, and, you know, it was lit from then. We had the best time of our lives there. Like, you missed out, Nancy. Like, all you had to do was say, you know, we couldn't stay with you for that long. We would just stay for whatever time you want us, you know, that you said we could stay there. But, you know, we had the time of our life. We stayed there for we didn't make it for a year, but we stayed there about 8 or 9 months. We stayed with KK, and, you know, we have to with random stuff, guys. Like, we weren't just there freeloading with nobody. But, yeah, we ended up staying with KK for about 8 or 9 months, and it was great. Like, we was on the beach, we was hanging out. Like, it was one of the best time of my life, I'm not gonna lie. And then I say maybe 3 months into staying down there, getting settled in with KK, I remember I was like, let me call this girl back, because I'm finna see if she gonna answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? And my girl was like, yeah, call her, see what she gonna say. And like I said, this is back 2005, so nobody really had block and all this stuff on their phone. So I guess, you know, she didn't block my number. I hadn't talked to her since that day. We got settled in. I didn't call her no more. I was like, she know we were coming in today, so if she wanted to know where I was at or how I was doing, she could have called me. I didn't call her no more after we got at KK's place. We was there, we was settled in. I'm focused on, you know, having fun with my, you know, who I was with at the time, my girl and KK. And KK introduced us to the friends she was hanging out at the time, and, you know, they were lesbian, and so they was introducing us to all the lesbian sides and everything. But anyway, so about 3 months later after that, we was already still down there. I remember I called Nancy, and I'm like, you know, well, what's up? You know, like, you ain't gonna call and check up, see where we at? And I just remember her saying something like, she's busy, she's at the car wash, she's washing her car or something. I'm like, you left me stranded on the highway. Like, you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say about that. And I don't know if I blocked out what she said, but the only thing I remember her saying was just like, you know, I'm busy right now. I'm at the car wash. I'm doing this, whatever, running errands or whatever she's doing. And then I remember I said, well, we're still down here. And then I'm telling you, you could hear a pin drop. It got quiet. I was like, well, we're still down here. And it was just like silence on the phone. Like, I'm like, well, we still down here, you know, with a car wash at. I'll come meet up with you, you know, see what's up. Like, and I wasn't saying that to like fight her. Like, I really didn't have no intentions of like, oh, where you at? We finna fight. I was just like, where you at? Like, I need to see you face to face so we can see what's going on. Like, I don't want no text explanation or whatever. But she didn't really get no explanation. She went out like a sucker, like a coward. She just, oh, I'm busy, you know. And I just remember hanging up the phone, like, okay, you busy. You ain't even got nothing to say. You left your good friend of 3-4 years hanging in the middle of fucking Miami on the highway. So that's my story, guys. Like, the time my friend left me stranded in Miami on the highway, didn't call, didn't say how you doing, where you at. Even after that, months later after that, still didn't call, didn't check up on it. Like, I've never talked to her since that time. This is 18 years ago, 2005. Appreciate you guys. Come at a time where, you know, a friend left you hanging, you know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and subscribe. V.